Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's been 2 weeks since my last upload, and honestly, I've had so much fun playing with the new Kindle Scribe Colorsoft. This device has been such a joy to use because it gets me into that deep thinking and flow. And in an age of constant distraction, getting into that system 2 thinking, which is the slow, deliberate thinking mode necessary to understand complex topic, has been difficult. But the Kindle Scribe Colorsoft makes it fun and easy. So today, I just wanted to show you how I'm using the color highlighting system in the Kindle Scribe to organize all of my notes. I hope you find it useful, and let's dig into it. Okay, so I wanted to show you the color grading system that I've devised to organize my information. I've chosen 4 colors here. The first color, pink, will kind of delineate critical points. I will highlight or write in pink whenever I find information that can be potentially life-saving, or if missed, can lead to death or permanent disability. I wanted to make sure that I have that section covered. The green color will be practice changing information that will change my day-to-day practice. The blue color will be first principles, which are basic scientific facts or pathophysiology facts that I want to remember. And finally, the cognitive bias section, which is a section that I will kind of choose to find any information that will be useful to think about so that I don't fall into cognitive traps. You know, when you work in medicine, there's a lot of stress and you're limited in time, and you don't usually have a lot of time to think very deeply about things, and you can really fall into early cognitive traps. And this information will be useful for me so that I don't basically fall into these traps. So these are the 4 sections that I've come up with, and I wanted to show you how I use it in my CME documents. So let's go ahead and open a document that I've been working on. Let's go under library here, and I'm going to open the headache. Let's kind of scroll up to the beginning of it. Let's go ahead and scroll up to the beginning of this document. And this document that I've been reading kind of concerns headaches, and I'm going to show you, here are some handwritten notes, but the different color schemes. So this is the first color, which is blue, and let's read a little bit of it. These primary headaches include migraine, tension headaches, trigeminal cephalgias, cluster headaches. And in addition to primary headache disorder, there's also secondary headache disorders such as medication overuse headaches. So this is sort of a basic scientific fact that there are 2 types of headache. Primary headaches that just pain due to the headache itself, but there are also secondary causes of headaches, such as people that take too many medications, and that itself can cause headache. So I wanted to highlight this because there's a basic fact that there are primary and secondary headaches. Now, I've chosen this part to highlight in yellow. So let's take a look at the yellow, which you may remember is the cognitive bias section. So I was reading a little bit about cluster headaches, and it says here, because the acute attack does not last more than 3 hours, the pain may have been dissipated by the time the ER physician evaluates the patient. So it's important for the clinician to recognize the ongoing cluster cycle. So this is, I thought, was an area of cognitive bias, because when you see the patient and the headache is gone, you may think, oh, well, the patient is all better, can go home now, not realizing that if this is a cluster headache, it may just come back because there is an ongoing cluster cycle, and you may not have appropriately treated the patient before the patient leaves. So this is an area that could lead to cognitive bias, and it's important to remember. The third color, which is the pink color, as you remember, that's critical information. Let's go ahead and read what I've chosen to highlight here to kind of show that it's critical. Pre-hospital clinicians should address the pain, associated symptoms, and anxiety associated with headaches while maintaining an awareness of secondary causes of headache, like stroke, post-traumatic intracranial hemorrhage, meningitis, and carbon monoxide poisoning. So again, there are primary and secondary headaches, and if you only think about the primary causes of headaches, you may miss more esoteric but important things like carbon monoxide poisoning, which can be intentional or accidental. But the treatment for carbon monoxide poisoning is not just giving headache medication. It's actually 100% oxygen. And if you don't think about that, the patient could end up having permanent brain damage or neurological disability. So that's critical information. Then I've chosen also to write in the same color important critical information that I don't want to miss. For example, indication for LP, which is lumbar puncture, which would be a peak headache less than 1 hour when the patient presents greater than 6 hours. So that's an information that I want to remember. I've also decided to write to AI, knowing that this probably will be seen by AI once I send it to Google Drive. I will write a question that I want to look up later. Ask AI, which patients need LP to rule out subarachnoid hemorrhage? So I've actually written questions here. I think that's something that might be useful, not only for critical thinking matters, but also to look up later. Note that I've decided to highlight an important table here, which is the Ottawa subarachnoid hemorrhage rule for headache patients, which includes some important information regarding symptoms and key features of subarachnoid hemorrhage. And finally, the green color, which is the practice changing information. So here I've written down IV Reglan or Compazine are first line for migraine. I want to remember that because I use Reglan a lot, Compazine not as much, but it is an option for patients, for example, that may not like Reglan. And I have also written down that I want to infuse it over 15 minutes to avoid any side effects like extrapyramidal side effects here. So I know this is a lot of medical information, and if you're not into medicine, you may not understand all of it, but I hope that you understand the bigger point, that you can highlight these PDFs in different colors as well as books in different colors and organize all your highlights. So let's go ahead, and now that we've seen all the different colors that you can highlight in, let's go ahead and send it to AI. Oh, I think I've created a bookmark by mistake here, but let's go ahead and see all the annotations here. So I'm gonna click on this button right here. I'm gonna press this button, which is a book that kind of looks like it has a bookmark there. So let's go ahead and touch this button. And you can see annotations are loading. It's actually loading quite fast. And I'm gonna scroll back up to the beginning of it. You can see that the annotation section not only involves highlights, but also any sort of handwritten notes you've made on the PDF, which is great. And the key feature, which I think is new to the Kindle Scribe Colorsoft, is that the highlights add the color here. You see aqua, which is blue, which is the first principles, and yellow here. So every highlight has a color associated with it. And that will be key to organize your information later. In addition, you can see that it has also saved the pages where you have made some handwritten notes, like Ask AI, for example, or any tables that you've highlighted. So what you can do now is you can share this to Google Drive, a new function in the Kindle Scribe Colorsoft, and I think will be coming to the other Kindle Scribes. So you can send it to Google Drive and then upload, and then we will go shortly on my laptop and take a look and see if we can organize all of our notes by categories. Okay, so we are now on Google Drive, and again, everything is uploaded under the Kindle Scribe folder. So Kindle Scribe send me a PDF document of all the annotation of the CME file. So as you can see here, this is exactly all the annotations, including the color highlight, which is amazing. Here, all the annotations are here, including the pages where you have made some handwritten notes here in pink, and the question Ask AI here is here again. And what we're going to do is we're going to go to Google Gemini and go ahead and link this file here from, actually not from the file, from Google Drive here, and let's take a look if we can find it. So my drive, Kindle Scribe, and we're gonna go, this is it right here, notebook headache, insert here. And so what I can ask now is, can you organize all the highlights, handwritten notes, and by color. Blue is first principles, yellow is cognitive bias, pink is critical information, and green is practice changing information. So what you're doing is you're going to take all the highlights and you're going to have AI organize it for you so that it's all systematized. So let's take a look at what it comes up with. And while I am a subscriber with Gemini, I believe this is also available under the free account. So let's read and see what it says here. Based on the annotation highlights provided in the notebook, here's the organization of the material in the requested categories. So it remembers blue is first principles because I told them. And as you may remember, I first read to you the difference between primary and secondary headaches. So it already kind of recognized that. And it recognized everything that I've highlighted in blue. And in yellow, remember I talked about the cluster headaches. It recognized that as well, and recognized that the pain may have dissipated by the time the provider sees the patient. So imperative to recognize the cycle rather than just the acute presentation. So it interpreted it for you as well, why it understands everything that I've highlighted. And it went about the pink information, which talks about subarachnoid hemorrhage, and talks about the Ottawa subarachnoid rules, which is the rules that I've highlighted under the table. So you even recognize the table. And the green as well, it talked about, Reglan and Compazine at the first line therapies, and that dexamethasone should be considered in all eligible migraine patients to prevent recurrence. So it kind of caught everything in the different colors that I've highlighted. I do remember that I wrote a question, but it didn't seem to have caught that. So I want to make sure that let's see, it didn't catch that. I don't think it was a critical thing. I was like, let's see if it talked about it. I don't think it talked about it. Maybe I can ask. I have written a question in pink, starting with Ask AI. Can you tell me what it is? Let's see if it can find the question that I wrote. It found it. The question is, which patient need LP to rule out subarachnoid hemorrhage? Perfect. So please incorporate the answer to these questions to my notes and categorize it under the correct color. So it's not perfect yet, so it will miss a couple of things here and there. That's why you have to make sure you read everything. But this is a thing that I distinctly remember that I wrote Ask AI. So now I'm asking AI, and it's asking who needs LP for subarachnoid hemorrhage. The 6-hour rule, mandatory, presenting greater than 6 hours, high risk symptoms. This is perfect. So next, what I'm going to do is, now that it's incorporated, that's it. Okay, show me all the notes organized by color categories. So now I've not only basically taken all of my highlights, now I'm organizing by the color that I've made, the color scheme, and I've added the Ask AI question to it. And what I'm going to do is take all of that information that all the information that AI is coming up with from my highlights, from my interpretation, and my particular organization and questions. See, it's coming up with everything here, which is great. And I'm going to copy, and I can make a new document out of it. Oops. There we go. There we go. That's a new document, which will be the headache annotations by color categories. And also what I can do is I can, make a podcast for the future. And I've showed to you that before, but you can go and copy text here and paste all the information here. And what I've loved to do is create an infographic. So let's try this new infographic section. So I can say here, and I like to try the detail section, make an info-dense infographic about the information on the document categorized by color. And then we will see shortly, takes a couple of minutes, the interpretation of all my notes into a one-page beautiful infographic generated by Notebook LM. Very, very amazing. Okay, so it took exactly 3 minutes. So let's go ahead and take a look at this infographic that they came up with. Oops, seems to have a little bit of a problem here. Not sure what happened. Let's try again. Look at this, simply amazing. All my information from my CME coordinated by color, by first principles, cognitive biases, critical information, and practice changing protocols. Perfect. Let's take a look at this. Look at this, how amazing this is. With beautiful types of illustration, the different types of headache, primary versus secondary headaches, the yellow cognitive biases, don't be fooled by a cluster headache patients that I was mentioning. The critical, the 6-hour rules for subarachnoid hemorrhage. The Ottawa subarachnoid rules. Exactly. This is exactly what I highlighted. And the practice changing protocols. First line for migraines, composine Reglan, and other add dexamethasone to prevent recurrence. This is exactly what I was talking about. Now, this is not perfect. They will have some spelling mistake. Like, for example, fluids here spelled with an I. But usually you can tell what they really meant. But what I will do is I will save this document and basically send it to my Kindle. So what you can do is you probably know this website already, but if you don't, go to Send to Kindle. And this is an easy way to send documents. These are the supported file tabs. And basically send it to the Kindle. So I just saved, let's go under downloads here, save this PNG file, which is the Notebook LM infographic, and I sent it to my Kindle. Simply amazing. So this is my new workflow. I hope you like what I've come up with over the past 2 weeks. And if this is useful for you, if you have any questions about how to use the Kindle Scribe Colorsoft, if you have any suggestions for future videos or any questions on how to learn, which I love to do, please let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much.